Hello and welcome to the start of Season 6 of The Real Deal. Today, we've got the Champions League draw, we've got the opening game of our season against Atletico Madrid, the reigning champions from last year, and of course, we've got all the transfers coming up that we've made over summer. You'll also notice behind me, there's nothing. It's a green screen now. I've got the green screen all set up. Two things about the green screen. One, this little laptop that I've got, it barely runs Football Manager anyway. It barely runs it whilst recording, so I don't know what it's going to be like with the green screen on as well. So we'll have to monitor that. If it's very laggy, we may have to get rid of it for now and save it for when we've got a better computer. So if you want to help out with that, there's the Patreon down below. There's also a link up there and down there and whatever. And also, the best thing about the green screen is if I push in these orange filters I've got on my new lights, watch this. There goes in one. In goes the second. Now look at me. Look how red I am. I don't know why this amuses me so much, but it really does. So if you want me to do a whole episode looking like this, then make sure you drop a like on the video. Hello and welcome back to The Real Deal. Today, we've got a jam-packed episode full of stuff, including a game against Atletico Madrid. But we need to get on with all the stuff before that. First of all, we've actually played one game in the league already. We played Seville on the opening day and we won 5-1. Hans Osmanovic with 4 goals and he set up Maximilian Verbert for the 5th goal as well. So fantastic first game of the season. They scored first and at that point I was thinking, right, it's not going to be the same as last season. We're going to be not as good as last season. But then we scored 5 goals, so it was pretty good. The reason we played that game is, though, because today is the Champions League draw and the Atletico Madrid game. I thought that'd be slightly more entertaining for you than just the Seville game. Before we do the draw, though, we need to talk about pre-season and the transfers that we have made across pre-season. I won't lie to you, actually. It was kind of frustrating this pre-season, this buying players this summer. It was frustrating. A lot of our targets went to other clubs and things like that. But we still got a fair few decent players in. We'll talk about the outs first. Anthony Lozano is probably the biggest name to go out. 2.5 million to a team in Mexico. He was just a little bit past it now. Really wasn't going to make the benchmark anymore. So, you know, he had to go. 2.5 million is a decent amount to get for him. Varela, our backup left back lesson's gone for nearly £600,000 to Osasuna. A lot of our players seem to go there, actually. Pedro Pinto also gone to Vitoria in Portugal. And Victor Pastrana left on a free. And, of course, Ronald Thomas also left on a free to Celta de Vigo. Most annoyingly, though, our most promising youth player has gone to Man United for £5 million. Man United, not just Man United, actually. Man United, Chelsea and PSG all triggered his release fee clause of £5 million. So Marco Antonio, who was the most promising youngster to come through, actually, 18 years old, has gone to Man United. He had 2-star current ability and 5-star potential. He was a really, really good player. I'm really gutted that he's gone now, to be fair. As you can see, in non-competitive games for United, he's doing very well. 3 goals and, 3 goals in 4 starts. 7.44 average rating. Played very well last season out on loan and the season before as well, I've got to say. He was going to come in as backup this season to Orsolini. However, that's now had to change. As a result, we could have brought Adriano Pelaez into the first team as backup. However, I don't think he's not as good as Marco Antonio. I don't think he was quite ready enough to make that step up. He's going to be in the B team this season. The B team got promoted last year, so now in the 2nd Division B. So technically, we can actually see all their stats now on all the fixtures, which is very useful. So I kind of want to keep him in there for this season at least. And Rolheiser will now be the backup on the right wing like he was already. I hope that kind of made sense to you. I know we spoke about that kind of stuff last season, but that's sort of what I'm thinking now. Just Rolheiser is going to be back up to the wing rather than striker now. On to the ins then, and we've only spent 11 million pounds basically, but only on 2 players basically. So we'll start off with Lucas Toussaint, who came in on a free transfer. Is a ball-winning fielder in the CDM position. We kind of need to strengthen that area. The players we had there, Ruiz and Dorsch, really weren't good enough. They were like 2.5 star. This guy's only slightly better with 3-star, but he's better than what he had. He's on a fairly cheap deal, came in on a free transfer as well. So I think it was just worth the punt, really. It was worth the money, I think, the 15k per week that we're paying in wages. He should do a decent job this year. He's going to be, I think he's going to be, you know, a pretty good signing for us. We've also brought in Diego Gonzalez for 2.8 million from Valencia. We were looking for a left-sided defender or a left-footed centre defender who can also play left back. And this guy fit the bill perfectly. He's a little bit old, 27 years old. That's not what I usually go for, and especially in this save. But 3-star current ability, got some good physicals and some good mentals. Technicals where they matter are decent as well and can sort of play at left back at centre-back or in CDM. So I'm quite happy with him. He's a very versatile player who'll probably get a lot of game time. The next chap that we paid money for, Emmanuel Colono, actually is... We've pulled up a bit of a coup here, I've got to say. 7.75 million for a central midfielder who is at 4.5-star current ability. He's still got more potential to fill as well. Only 20 years old, got 9 caps for Argentina as well. And when we signed him, we got a little message saying that shirt sales are going to be boosted massively because he signed and he's a very big name in South America. So that is fantastic. As you can see from his attributes, they are beautiful. Described as a wonder kid as well. Determination 17, personality professional. He's going to be a superb signing for us. And I can't wait to see him get started this season, basically. We're also looking at, there were like 2 more central midfielders that we wanted to sign, but they went to other clubs as well. And they were really cheap deals as well. And they were very good players, 4-star current ability. Unfortunately, they went to like Premier League sides instead, so that was really frustrating. But we did manage to get this guy, and he was the best of the bunch, so I'm happy that we got him at least. And then we've made 3 loan signings as well. I wanted to strengthen our midfield, especially because Badeka didn't want to come back to the club initially. He has now come back. He signed pretty late on in the transfer window, but he is back now. So Badeka, the player that you know and love, is back at the club. So you know all about him. You know what to expect from him. He's going to be great. We've also signed Jerome Harbo from Everton on loan, another centre midfielder that can also play in that CDM position as well. 3.5-star current ability, 5-star potential, only 18 years old. I'd love to try and sign him at some point as well. Not quite as good as Badeka and Colono, but he's a decent player as well and quite versatile in that midfield. He's going to play more of that box-to-box midfield role this season, so that's kind of a role we need to strengthen quite a lot. So he's going to do that for us. And finally, as Rollheiser wasn't going to be back up to striker, he's going to move back to more of the wing position. We had to bring in another striker. And I also promised Luka Adzic that because Lozano went, we had to sign someone else up front to strengthen it. And he's happy with that now that we signed Abel Ruiz from Barcelona on loan. A decent little striker. We only needed someone in as backup behind Osmanovic and Salonke, and this guy fit the bill perfectly. 3-star current ability, 3.5-star potential, but he's just backup sort of. So don't expect to see him too much, but when he does play, he will be very good for us, I'm sure. So that's all our summer business then. I hope you like it. Not quite as much as I would have liked. I would have liked to strengthen a little bit more in midfield, maybe a little bit more at the back. But considering we finished second last season, I don't think it was that necessary, so I'm not too worried. Now, on to the massive news, the Champions League draw. We're 4th seed for it, as you'd imagine. I imagine we're probably the lowest ranked. Yeah, we are the lowest ranked club in terms of European coefficient. So all these other clubs are basically going to be wanting to play against us. I think what I'm going to do then, I'm just going to go through and draw literally the first 3 teams from each group, and then we can have a look through and decide where we want to be. Already I'm saying I want to avoid Group H, Man City and Real Madrid. I want to avoid that. Although we can't be in that group, can we? Because, of course, Spanish clubs. So we can already rule out Group B, Group D, and Group H. A little bit annoying because I'd like to be in Group D with Everton and Marseille. So we can either be in A, E, F, G, or C. And looking at that, I think Group G is the one I'd want to be in out of all those. Perhaps E as well, but Group G is the one that's calling my name right now. That seems like a relatively even draw. So hopefully we're in Group G. Watch us now get, like, I don't know, a really tough one now as we keep drawing teams. We're not in it yet. Okay, we're in Group E. I don't mind that too much. Besiktas, AC Milan, and Liverpool. It's a little bit difficult, but I think we could overcome Besiktas and AC Milan. Liverpool could be a bit of a struggle, but I think we've got a chance of qualifying through that group. Let me know what you think down in the comment section about that group. Besiktas, AC Milan, and Liverpool. How do you think we're going to do? Remember, this is 5 years in the future as well now, so it's not necessarily real life. But from what I remember, I don't think any of those teams are winning their domestic leagues and things like that. And considering we came second last year, we're a dark horse. We're a dark horse. So here we are now at the Atletico Madrid game, the main event of today's episode. And we're going to go for the 5 at the back system again, just because I know Atletico are stronger than us, and we're playing away to them as well. And I think this works a little bit better for us, although we did lose 5-0, or 3-0 rather, last time we tried this at their place. But we'll try it again, shall we? Berkeyerza in goal. Verba, Diaz and Romero make that back line. Cucurella and David Cameron as wing-backs, so an unchanged back line, basically. But new boys, Habo and Colonna come in the midfield. Adzic makes that attacking midfielder, and Osmanovic and Salonke start up front. So, only 2 new faces in this lineup today. Hopefully, that means that things will be pretty similar to last season. They'll all blend with each other. They know what they're doing with each other. So hopefully it will just spell a decent game for us. Right then, kickoff is upon us against Atletico Madrid, the first game on camera of this season. I'm looking forward to it. Of course, we both won our first games of the season. Atletico only by the 1 goal. We won ours by 4 goals. So that gives us the advantage so far in goal difference. Getting a win today against Atletico Madrid would be huge in the context of the season, considering that they won the league last season. However, they've got the first chance with them as corner onto the head of Koke. And as I say, we need to win today to mount the pressure on them already. They've scored. Don't worry though, it's only the second game. Obviously, there's nothing to worry about yet. If we can lose today and win every single game for the rest of the season, it doesn't matter too much. Classic. Luka Adzic already picked up a knock. He's our first team captain this season now as well. We've removed David Cameron as first team captain. He's not going to get the game time. And Luka Adzic was the next best player, basically. So Adzic is now a captain. He did get his new contract as well over summer. So he's on a bit of a beefy contract. I think it must be about £50,000 per week or something like that. Another injury now to Habo. They've both got orange injuries. So we may take them both off at half time. Because I don't want to risk them, especially if they have bad injuries. Because they're very important players to us. Atletico Madrid, though, coming forward. Koke on the ball, out towards Vendel, out towards Pavon again, and they've got lots of space down that left-hand side of the pitch, right-hand side, rather, for them. Hugo Mayo puts it in onto the head of their attacker, and it's just over the bar. Berke Özunal with a goal kick, looking for Dominic Solanke, headed it down to Colono, back to Adzic and into Haibo. Haibo's ball forward, not quite reaching its intended target, intercepted nicely then. Vieto, who punished us so much last season, puts the ball in towards his striker in the middle, although the ball wasn't great. Gaia doesn't, he just about wins it. I think Badeka is chasing. Is Badeka still number 8? Or is someone else number 8 now? Because Badeka was 8 last year. I don't know if I'm trying to click on him. We'll never know who number 8 is now, and they've nearly scored. Number 8. I want to know who he is. It doesn't give me numbers there either. Tactics, numbers. Who's number 8? It's Colono who's number 8 now. So of course, Badeka's not even on the pitch, isn't he? So I don't know why I kept thinking it was him. Well, it's because number 8 was his number last year. That's why I thought it was him. All right, then, half-time here. Not the worst half. We are only 1 goal down. I am going to make some changes, though. I don't really want to risk Adzic and Harbo this early on in the season, and especially because we've got Barcelona next game as well. So Badeka is going to come on for Harbo. And can Abel Ruiz play there? It kind of can. Does Solanke want to play there any more? Neither of them are really that keen on it. Abel Ruiz will come in as a complete forward on support, I think. We'll try that in the second half. Abel Ruiz making his debut, I believe, actually. This is his first start. I don't think he started or came on a sub against Seville. So this is his first appearance in a competitive shirt for Oviedo. Hopefully he makes a big impression, and hopefully he'll do it now in this highlight early in the second half as Colono, the roaming playmaker, loses possession, and now Atletico Madrid can come forward with their attack. Just dancing through. Vieto put through wonderfully, to be fair. Honestly, our defence just stood still and watched, I've got to say. They didn't really put the challenge in, didn't track their men very well, and that is a fully deserved second goal for Atletico Madrid. They are just a class above us at the moment, Atletico. I think we just got lucky last season. I do think we've got the quality to finish in the top 7. I think we have got the quality to have a Europa League football winning side, basically. But I think we got lucky last season with our second place finish. I think this season, anywhere in the top 7 for me is going to be acceptable. Atletico, though, are just a class above us, I've got to say. They are a better side than us. Berke's ball up to Abel Ruiz was won, actually, by him as Solanke now collects the ball and David Cameron can try and make a little move forward. Osmanovic into Abel Ruiz, looking for a goal on his debut. Decent shot, but unfortunately Kepa was there to make the save. I think we'll make one more change. We're going to swap Badeka and Colono over. Badeka will become that deep line playmaker instead, and we'll bring on Borja Fernandez for Colono. He's not played massively well today, I've got to say, but again, we have been outshone by Atletico Madrid today. Hopefully that change will make a difference, but it probably won't, will it? Well, I don't think we can be too disappointed with today's result. Atletico Madrid, as I said, are a better side than us. We lost 3-0 to them last season away from home. To this season, it's only 2-0, so that's slight improvement. Stat-wise, it's not looking great, really. Of course, this formation is quite defensive. We do invite the pressure, then try and hit them on the counter-attack. So that's why Madrid have a lot more possession and shots and things like that. But I don't think we can be too disappointed with the way we've played. We've lost 2-0 on the day, but there's still a long way to go this season. So Hebo's out for 5 to 6 days. So Barcelona games in 2 weeks, actually. We've got international break in between, so that's all right. Adzic out for 1 to 2 days. So nothing too much. Apparently a tactical blunder ends the unbeaten run of 1 league game, so I don't know why the fans are getting cross with me for that. Next episode then, I reckon we just go straight in with it and do Barcelona and Besiktas. Barcelona, obviously, are going to be a big side this season. If we can beat them again, that would be huge for us. And then our first ever Champions League game against Besiktas, we have to do that. So I think next episode makes sense to do Barcelona and Besiktas. So thank you very much for watching today's episode. I hope you have enjoyed it. Make sure you leave a comment as well telling me which signing you think looks the best. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you drop a like on it, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and I will see you next time for some more Real Deal action.